Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. To make this hooded cardigan you will need a weight 4 yarn, a 5.5mm crochet hook and a 6mm crochet hook. In this video I make a size small. For all other sizes check out my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. We're going to begin with our back panel, so using the smaller hook, the 5.5, chain 9. Then half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. And then half double crochet into every chain to the end. At the end of the row, chain 1 and then turn your work. Now we're going to work in the back loops. So half double crochet into that very first stitch, into the back loop, and then half double crochet into the back loop of every stitch all the way to the end. So repeat this row until your piece measures 19 inches, unstretched. So now change to your 6mm crochet hook. And now we're going to make single crochet along the top edge of this ribbing. So chain 1 and make 64 single crochet. At the end of the row, we're going to chain 2. This counts as our first half double crochet. So turn your work. Seeing as that's our first stitch, skip that stitch, skip the next, and then single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to work a double crochet into that skipped stitch, the stitch right there. So make your double crochet towards the front of your last single crochet, just like so. Skip the next stitch and then single crochet into the next. Then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So that's basically your pattern. You're going to skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So you're going to repeat that all the way across until one stitch remains. So when you reach the end, you will have one stitch remaining. So into that stitch, make one half double crochet. Chain 2 and then turn your work. That chain 2 always counts as your first half double crochet. So skip the next, and then into the next stitch make 1 single crochet. Then double crochet into that skipped stitch, and just repeat that across. Skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, and then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across until you reach the end. When you reach the end of this row, you're going to place 1 half double crochet on top of that chain 2. So you're going to repeat that row over and over again until your back panel measures 22 inches. So the front panels are made in the exact same way, except your ribbing is going to measure 9.5 inches. Once you have your ribbing done, you're going to single crochet 32 stitches across. And then once you have your 32 single crochet completed, you're going to do the stitch pattern that we did before. We're going to chain 2, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, and then double crochet into that skipped stitch. And then continue that, repeat that the exact same way as your back panel until these front panels measure 22 inches long. So these are your front panels. Once they reach 22 inches long, you're going to fasten off and leave a long tail. Now onto our sleeves. We're going to start off using our 5.5mm crochet hook, chain 9, half double crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then half double crochet into each chain to the end. At the end of the row, chain 1 and then turn your work, half double crochet in the back loops only into each stitch all the way to the end. Then repeat this row until your piece measures 9.5 inches. So next, change to your 6mm crochet hook, and we're going to work on the long edge of this ribbing. So chain 1 and then make 30 single crochet. At the end of the row, chain 2. This counts as our first half double crochet. Turn your work, skip the next stitch and into the next make a single crochet, then double crochet into that skipped stitch and repeat that all the way across. Skip your next stitch, single crochet into the next, and then double crochet into that skipped stitch. Then when you reach the end, you're going to place 1 half double crochet into that last stitch. So here we are at the end, place 1 half double crochet into that last stitch. So chain 2 and then turn your work. And now we're going to increase. So into that same stitch as your chain 2, we're going to make a half double crochet. Right there, place 1 half double crochet. skip your next stitch and then single crochet into the next. Then double crochet into that skipped stitch and repeat that across. You're going to skip the next stitch, then single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So repeat that all the way across until you have one stitch remaining. So here we are at the end of the row. We have one stitch remaining, that's our chain 2. So in the top of that chain 2, place 2 half double crochet. So you're going to repeat those 2 rows over and over again until you have 50 stitches. So you're going to alternate between a row of no increases and then a row of increases. So your next row is going to be chain 2, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch and repeat that across the row. We're going to skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, and then double crochet into that skipped stitch. Repeat that all the way across to the end of the row. Your last stitch will be 1 half double crochet. So your last stitch will be a half double crochet on top of this chain 2. Our next row, chain 2, and this is our increase row. So into that same stitch as your chain 2, place 1 half double crochet. Skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch, and repeat that all the way across. Your last stitch, you will place 2 half double crochet into that last stitch. So repeat those last 2 rows over and over again until you have 50 stitches. So once you have your 50 stitches, you're going to keep going without any increases until your sleeve measures about 17 inches long. So now lay your 2 front panels on top of your back panel, and with the yarn needle we're going to sew 16 stitches across here, leave the rest unworked, and then do the same on the other side, 16 stitches. Once you have that done, lay your whole piece out flat like this. Just make sure the wrong side is facing up. Grab your sleeve and you're going to get a marker and mark the center stitch, and then line that marker with your shoulder seam and then connect, and then sew across. Then you're going to sew below the sleeve and down along the edge and repeat on the other side. With your 6mm crochet hook, we're going to attach our yarn to this beginning chain 2. This is the corner of the top of our front panel. Then insert your hook and chain 2. And you're going to repeat the same pattern that we had before. We're going to skip the next stitch and then single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch. So repeat that we're going to skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, then double crochet into that skipped stitch. And you're going to repeat that along the remaining stitches that we didn't sew of the front panel, and then along the remaining stitches of the back panel, and then around the remaining stitches of the other front panel. And repeat that row over and over again until you have about 36 rows completed. If you want a bigger hood, just add more rows. And then fasten off and leave a very long tail. So now we're going to sew our hood. So just join it kind of inside out like this. Just like so. And with your yarn needle, you're going to stitch all the way along. Now turn your hood right side out again. With our 6mm crochet hook, we're going to attach our yarn to the very bottom edge. And we're going to single crochet all the way around this inner edge until we reach the other side. So when you reach the other side, we're going to change our hook again to the 5.5mm crochet hook. And then chain 7. Half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. And then half double crochet into the next 5 chains. Skip this next single crochet, this one right there, and then into the next place one slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. Then turn your work. We're going to skip these 2 slip stitches, and then into the next 6 half double crochet we're going to make 6 half double crochet working into the back loops only. So make 6 half double crochets into the back loop only. Chain 1, turn your work. And now we're going to work 6 half double crochet into the back loop only. Then slip stitch into the next 2 single crochet. So you're going to repeat that. You're going to turn your work, make 6 half double crochet in the back loop only. Then you're going to, at the end, chain 1, turn your work, 6 half double crochet along, and then slip stitch into the next 2 single crochet. And repeat that all the way around your entire inner edge of your cardigan, and that's it. Just weave in all your ends and you're good to go. Don't forget the free written pattern will be on my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. So until next time, take care.